This is a war. This is a war, different kind of a war than we've ever had.
Today, no war has been declared. And however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion.
Today, the Department of Defense has started the process of formalizing what we have long known, the fundamental role of U.S. Special Operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating Special Operations forces to a level on par with military departments. We follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy,
It's all coming full
who
circle
predicted the
now.
rise of special operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of force, forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance. The global demands for special operations forces, then and now, has confirmed President Kennedy's foresight. And now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of special operations forces.
We're in it right
This
now.
persecution is being done by the same weaponized agencies that for 7 years have been running illegal psychological warfare campaigns against the American people, much as if they were trying to destabilize a foreign country.
In the military, I started off my career as an air cavalry officer, flying helicopters, reconnaissance. Moved later into information warfare as an information operations officer, running psychological operations, computer network operations, deception, operation security, and electronic warfare, special electronic warfare. And I would tell you, as an unconventional warfare, information operations, information warfare specialist, the American populace is facing an unconventional warfare scenario.
President Trump is the commander-in-chief. It's undoubtedly the case. And he has pulled together all the military under the U.S. Space Force. All members of the U.S. Space Force are called guardians, no matter if you're a chief, master sergeant, or a cadet or a soldier, an officer. They are called guardians for a reason.
We have over 200 generals
Remember
and
this?
admirals supporting us now. They're going to switch over to paper ballots. It's all watermarked now. It's really incredible stuff what you can do with paper. Paper is actually high-tech.
Watermark ballots in over 12 states have been part of a huge Trump and military white hat sting operation. And Biden crime family and ballot fraud co-conspirators, elected officials, bureaucrats, social media censorship mongers, fake stream media reporters, etc., are being arrested and detained for ballot fraud right
Why do you
now in
think they're
overcoming
fighting
days
so hard?
and will be living in barges off Gitmo to face military tribunals for sedition.
Please allow me to say how proud I am of the almost 25,000 National Guardsmen who have come in from all 50 states and territories to help support the Secret Service and the police departments with a peaceful transition of military power.
In my first term, I disrupted all of it. Oh, did I disrupt? That was called major disruption. And in my second term, which we're sort of having now, but I don't want the results. Under the normal rules, I'll be out in 2024.
We are now in the phase, in my view,
Normal rules.
where the War Generals Coalition, this is a coalition of 200 active duty generals are at work, 34 nations. I don't know the list. I just know it's happening. He has put the US into war, active war. The US, United States codes of court martial are in force. Military justice is in force. The Law of War Manual 2015, revised in July 23, is in force, and it is global. And it is a coalition of 34 nations that are now cooperating to bring down the cabal.
We're essentially fighting the entire globalist elite power structure that wants to control the world.
We're at war. In a true sense, we're at war. And we're fighting an invisible enemy.
To make it simpler for you to understand, these are military tribunal procedures, and you need to know that in war, which America is, it has mobilized 1 million National Guard soldiers in active duty. The codes of court-martial are clear. A court-martial tribunal can be declared behind a tank, behind a barn, on a highway cafe, in a city, anywhere in the world, in the battlefield, by the commanders themselves, and executed according to the court-martial articles, depending on the crime that has been committed: high treason, genocide, war crimes, and also lesser, I would say, severe infractions of the law of war.
We've got it all.
In light of the countless sacrifices made by hundreds of thousands of American service members
Remember this?
and our enormous progress over nearly 2 decades, we are now bringing these conflicts to their successful and responsible conclusion
Didn't go away.
under the bold leadership of
It's still
President
here.
Trump.
Under
Should
Trump.
any malign actors underestimate our resolve or attempt to undermine our efforts, we will not hesitate to restore deterrence and defeat any and all threats.
Read between the lines of Putin and President Trump. President Putin gave a football to his colleague in a very good ambiance, by the way. The press was there. And he said, "Mr. President, I give you this ball as a gift. The ball is now in your court." For those who didn't understand what that means, that was the signal to the cabal. From now on, President Trump and Commander-in-Chief and Putin, up to now and going forward, with 34 nations, are doing their job to liberate humanity from oppression.
One of the important factors of the pause is that we see how bad they've done. So we will be able to do it properly, and it will be much easier. Everybody will agree with us because everybody sees what a bad job has been done during this 2-year period, and it will be a 4-year period. Everybody sees that. It will be much easier for us to do what has to be done.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know that justice is on the way, and it's beyond my control, or beyond our control. We are not in the military, and we're not supposed to know what happens tomorrow, because the four star generals at war will certainly not make a press conference and certainly not disclose what they're doing tomorrow.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm. What's the storm? Could be the calm before the storm. We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Mr. President, what did you mean by calm before the storm yesterday? What did you mean by that?
Thank you.
You'll find out. With this strategy, we are calling for a great reawakening of America.
It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country.
You and I have been in this battle side by side and together, and we've been taking on the entire corrupt system in Washington.
We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. 2024 is our final battle.
When I get back into the Oval Office, we will totally obliterate the rest of the deep state.
And
we
they
will
know it.
finish the job
They know it,
that we shall bring to this state.
and that's why they're doing
Our exciting
everything they're
adventures and
doing.
boldest endeavors have not yet begun. My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country. And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come.
I call on everybody to apply the light, because we are the guardians of humanity. It's us, our spirit, and our light obliterates the darkness.
This is a crusade. This is a holy war against the deep state.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.